All right, we should be live. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much. And if this is your first time, welcome or welcome back if it's not your first time. We have a special stream here where I am actually on stream. My face is actually on stream. Can you believe it? We've been trying to do this for 2 years, trying to set it up. I know the microphone's in a little bit of an awkward situation. We're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to get it all fixed up. We're going to make it look good. That's why I'm a little bit late. I apologize for that, running a little bit late, because I wanted to make sure that all the sound was good, the video was good, and, we're going to make do with what we have. I think everything's looking good. Welcome to the brand new Foods for Health studio. Thank you so much. My name is Coach Nate. I am a certified training specialist. I am a nutritionist, and I am a health and wellness coach. So thank you so much. I do appreciate everyone coming here. Let me know what you think in the comments here, what you think of the new studio. It's kind of funny seeing my face here. It might be a little bit different. I don't know if it's too close. I don't know if it's too far back. We're going to have to figure that out as we go, but we definitely will. Hopefully the quality of the stream is looking good. I'm going to see if I can change the quality myself, because it should be 1080p. So it looks pretty good. I feel like I'm a little bit zoomed in, but that's okay. Again, we're going to get it all figured out. This is our first one, our introductory stream. Now with the new studio, now with my face being on here, I have 2 different settings that I'm going to be showing you here in a little bit. Morgan, thank you so much. Great to see you on here. Yeah, I've never seen your face on screen. I'm surprised. Well, hopefully you're surprised in a good way. Thank you so much, Morgan. I do appreciate. No, everything looks fine. Perfect. You guys will see some posters in the back, some of my favorite posters. Like I said, I've run a training company for quite a long time, so it's set up just a little bit, but we got the musculoskeletal system. We have the skeletal system, and we even have the spinal. And what else do we have there? The spinal, and it's probably a nerve, cranial nerve poster back there as well. So again, thank you so much. A lot of time went into this, setting everything up. I have to thank a few people, not only the physical, but also the getting all the electronic, getting all the technology ready. So a lot of thanks go out to some special people. You know who you are. Mary, yes, everything looks great. Perfect. I'm glad to hear it. And like I said, this microphone, a little bit in an awkward spot. I know it's covering my face a little bit. I wanted to bring it a little bit lower, but the thing is, if I bring it lower, I don't think that the quality of the audio is going to be quite as good. So I figured I'd just have it up here for today. This is basically a dry one of how all the other streams are going to be moving forward. Like I said, information will be on here. I'll show you guys in a second. I got two interesting, I don't even know what you call it, scenes on OBS on my software here. So we're getting into it. I had my workout this morning. Hopefully you guys had a great morning. I got my morning coffee here. This is number 2. I always try to caffeinate a little bit before my morning workouts. Mary, hi everyone. Yay, Coach Nate. You're able to get the video working. Yes, it was. You like it? Good, Mary. I'm glad that you like it. I really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for the thumbs up. I appreciate that as well. I see we're already, I think, at 7. Again, mine lags behind yours. So what we're going to do today, here's the plan. I didn't want to go too in-depth. I wanted to make sure everything was working. We got a nice light behind me as well, so hopefully all of the lighting and everything like that is looking good. We're going to get into some just reaction videos. And what I really want to react to, and we've talked about this on stream before, is it possible to lose belly fat and flatten your belly through abdominal exercises? Only if you've watched the stream, then you probably know the answer. If you haven't watched the stream, then maybe you might learn a thing or two about spot reducing and belly fat and some other things. So again, glad to see everyone. I know I made the stream a little bit earlier. I wanted to get on here. I had the time. If I have the time, I'm going to get on stream. That's just how it's going to work from now on. I want to make sure I get on here as fast as possible and as often as possible. So thank you, everyone who've been able to come on here on a Monday morning. I know it's not easy, especially at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll probably lose a few viewers from, Europe and all of that, but that's fine. Like I said, we got Morgan, we got Mary in here. So I say we get right into it. I say I hope you guys like the setup. I hope you guys are enjoying the video, are enjoying the audio. It's only going to get better from here. This is number 1. I think we just keep going up from here and get comfortable, relax. We're going to react to a few videos. Again, when it comes to reaction, this is my first time reacting to videos, so I thought it'd be a great way to sort of start off the live streams with my face on here, and then it'll kind of show you guys what to expect for the coming streams. But why don't we get right into it? So here's what we do, and this is why I'm going to be able to. Mary, I know that you mentioned that you liked seeing the information. You'll be able to see what I kind of mean. So in this one, I'm going to shrink down a little bit here. You guys tell me if I'm too small. But you can see here also that we got a little shelf up there. A couple books, some of my favorite books that I'm reading right now on stretching, anatomy. I got my little button up there, little apple up there. So it kind of zooms in just a little bit, or maybe zooms out when we go into this smaller. But this is where I can react from. This is where all the information is going to go over on this side. So if you haven't watched the motivational doc, I think Dr. Mandel is his name. I'll be honest, I don't take in a lot of content when it comes to YouTube. There's a few who aren't really in the nutrition or the exercise space. I watch a lot of neuroscientists. I read a lot of nutrition. I think that's the best way to describe it. I don't watch a lot of the nutrition videos. Why? Because I'm a nutrition content creator myself. I don't want it going into my brain, someone else's content, or, have a bias going into some of the stuff. So I don't know if I've ever watched motivational doc, to be honest. From some of his videos, respect him, big respect to him. I want to react to this one, though, the one right on top. As you can see, I've never seen it before, so it'll be a live reaction in live time, which I think is kind of interesting. I have to make sure that the desktop audio is correct. So if it's a little bit off, if it's a little bit too loud, please let me know, because there's really no way that I could test that. But the reason why I wanted to react to this video, get a flat belly in 2 moves, no sit-ups or gym, 6.2 million views. I think a lot of people are interested in, flat belly, obviously, and 2 moves, and no sit-ups, no gym. Nothing's wrong with sit-ups. Sit-ups are tough. A lot of people don't like doing sit-ups. I'm not a big fan of sit-ups myself. So hard on the lower back, hard on the lumbar spine. Your L1, L2, L3, all the way down to L5, even your L5, S1 can be a little bit tough over time. For older adults, I don't do them with a lot of my clients. Just because there's a lot of wear and tear, you can get a lot of disc degeneration. You can get a lot of degeneration from a lot of areas of the lower back and of the spine. So I found it interesting. I don't know what's wrong with the gym. A lot of people aren't going to the gym, maybe, especially post-pandemic. But let's get into it. Again, this caught my eye. Something that maybe I wanted to watch for a little bit now. Get a flat belly. I think the biggest thing here is, can you get a flat belly by doing 2 moves? Hopefully here's my hopes going into it. Hopefully it's only a 5-minute video. I was quite surprised. Here's the things that I'm hoping that I hear in this video. And I know the good doctor will probably mention it. I have high hopes for him. It seems like he has a great channel. He has 8 million subscribers. I mean, congratulations to him. Big shout out to the motivational doc. Big shout out to Dr. Mandel. Here's what I'd like to hear. In combination with diet, and then maybe some sort of other exercises. Because can you get a flat belly from 2 moves? Very, very tough, if not impossible. You can't spot reduce. So let's try this. Let's get this video going. Again, I hope everything looks good. I hope the audio is coming in. Leave your comments. If you're just hopping into the channel, let me know where you're listening from, as always, and let me know how everything's sounding, how everything's looking, especially as we start to get into this live reaction. Because I still hear me. If you can still hear me, If you can still hear me in chat, geez, and hopefully you guys can't hear that. I'm getting a lot of dings. Hopefully you guys can still hear me in chat. Hopefully we've reconnected to OBS. If not, probably because some people are using some internet in this house, but that's okay. All right, so let's continue. Give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me. I know it might lag just a little bit, but give me a thumbs up if you can just before I start the video, and then we'll go ahead and we'll do our live reaction. You're gonna see me pause it quite a bit. I'm assuming you're gonna see me pause this just so I can give my own opinion. Flat belly, rectus abdominis, transverse abdominis. I wonder what he's going to be going for. What's going to be worked? Thank you, Mary. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yes, the audio is still good. Thank you. I saw my OBS disconnected for a second. Well, let's get into it. Like I said, I've never seen it. You would be able to tell with that red little bar down there. So let's get into it. I got to raise the desk audio just a bit, I believe. Let me know if it's too much. So let's get into this. Dr. Mandel, thank you so much. We'll watch through his ad here. Now, I don't know if you guys can hear this quite yet. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear this. Okay, now you can hear. Now you can hear. Hopefully the desk audio is good. If you need me to shrink. Ooh, it's a little quiet for me.
Simplest, fastest way.
Okay, hopefully everything's looking good.
Get that six-pack.
Let me start this. Restart this. So hopefully the audio is good. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully you can hear the good doctor here.
Dr. Mandel here. I am going to show you the simplest, fastest way on how you can get that six-pack, burn those abs, and do it out.
Burn those abs. That's funny. Burn those abs. A lot of people that I'm training, they feel that ab burn. When you feel the ab burn, hands on the stomach, you know you're probably doing a good job. But let's see the fastest way. So the movement, that's the fastest way to get a flat stomach. Wow, I'm expecting big things from you, Dr. Mandel. 8 million subscribers, you know your thing.
Outside of the gym. Now, there's no doubt that the majority of our world is overweight, primarily from the excessive refined foods.
True. So see,
we must do.
So okay. Beautiful. So what was if you go back to and remember, what was the one thing that I would like to hear him say in this video? Something that has to do with nutrition. And he did not disappoint. So good for him.
Is to cut the carbs. When you lower the carbs, you will lower water retention. Your abs, your stomach will look much more beautiful all the time.
Let me go back, Mary. Hopefully this is a little bit better.
The carbs. When you lower the carbs, you will lower water retention. Your abs, your stomach will look much more beautiful all the time. Okay,
so water retention, lowering water retention, your abs will look much better all of the time. Is there any truth to that? Well, yes. You'd have to get a lot of, for those abs to really pop out, you'd really have to get almost into a dehydrated state for those abs to start to pop out. If we're talking about lowering water retention, depends how much water retention that you're really having. You'd really have to be holding a lot of water to, if you have abs, you're going to be a low body fat. All right. Water retention can, yes, affect them just a little bit. But if you have a low body fat, you're somewhere in between 10%, 15%. Maybe you might start to see them. But if you're like 10, 12%, you know, your abs are going to be popping regardless. Let's see what
excessive carbs that get
You're welcome, Mary.
into fat. But there is one muscle we must focus with. And we can do this sitting up or standing up. It's called the transverse abdominis.
All right, interesting. So the transverse abdominis. So I had my two sort of I guess guesses was he was going to focus on rectus abdominis or transverse abdominis. They call it the corset muscle, and you can see why. Kind of acts as a corset that wraps around the body. Starts quite high, goes into the obliques, so into the sides, and then down. It goes quite low into the pelvis. A lot of people, if you've seen it before, if you see that like V shape going down into the pelvis, that's usually your rectus or your transverse abdominis here. It's a very deep core muscle. I'm not sure if he said that. I might have missed that, but a very deep core muscle, and it's hard to hit. You really got to hit it pretty hard. Let's see what he does for it. So, okay, transverse abdominis. Nice. That's what he's focusing on here.
And it's located under the internal oblique muscle.
So underneath the internal oblique muscle. So like I said, deep muscle here.
There are several core muscles like the rectus abdominis, the internal and external obliques, but the transverse abdominis is definitely the most important. This deep, flat abdominal muscle supports the spine, the trunk, allows you to breathe correctly. It supports the organs. This is what gives.
Definitely agree. Transverse with what he said to the lower back, protecting the lower back, 100% agree. With that transverse abdominis, it's really going to help with lower back pain. If you do have lower back pain, let's look at the movement and see what he does. But interesting. So rectus abdominis, those internal, external obliques. Yes, obviously important, but he seems to think the transverse abdominis is the most important. I think all three are important. You got to hit all of them, but let's see why he thinks.
Gives you that postural support. The transverse abdominis muscle is what allows you to sit up straight and stand tall with very little effort. So I am going to show you on how you can get your abdominal region nice and trim and to look good once again by strengthening those transverse abdominal muscles by doing this particular technique.
All right, here we go. So it's tough to get, I'm going to say, it's tough to get the stomach looking good just based on one exercise, guys. He's going to have to follow up with something with nutrition here. But let's see the one movement, and I'm going to give a couple movements. Now he's talking about the transverse abdominis. I'm going to give a couple movements as well. You can look them up. Maybe I'll type them into the chat. But very interesting, transverse abdominis. I agree with everything that he says. Helps with posture. Right now I'm trying to keep my posture high. I'm engaging my core. Rectus abdominis, transverse abdominis. So agree with what he says. I believe the transverse abdominis is the only part of the core that actually the muscles go longitudinal and not so sideways and not vertically. Interesting enough.
So let's get results. Our objective is to do 12 repetitions, 2 to 3 sets. Many of you will not be able to do 2 to 3 sets.
Is he going to do them? This is the question. I hope he does them.
As you continue to do the exercise, you will over time as these muscles get stronger. While doing the exercise, it's going to be a little sore.
All right, let's see the exercise.
Do not use this muscle. This exercise
He's going to do it.
Easy for me.
Nice.
I've been doing this daily for years. We're going to take the
Pointing
umbilicus,
his belly button.
And
Okay.
we're going to bring it in as far as we can. Push it in. Now, many of you are saying, "Ow, that."
So essentially what he's doing is what's called a vacuum pose. A lot of benefits with a vacuum pose. I love that he's showing it. I love that he's putting his money where his mouth is. Good for him. Looks like he's been doing it. You can see the internal and external obliques. So he's been working those quite well. But let's keep going. So vacuum pose. This is something you guys can do too. Maybe I'll start doing this. But I'm going to give you a couple exercises that you can do as well that are going to work on transverse abdominis. I've never seen a vacuum pose. The interesting thing is you can do this standing up. You could probably do this sitting down. Let's see what he's doing. So he's vacuum posing. When you push that belly button in, he's explaining it. Think of like you're pushing it in and up. I would go in and up. That way you're getting the most squeeze out of it. And that way you're getting the most benefit. So you do that during pelvic tilts too. So it really helps with those pelvic muscles, those deep floor pelvic muscles, 4 of them. That'd be a whole nother stream. But let's keep going here. Good for him.
Hurts.
I love that he's showing it.
It's going to hurt.
He himself,
Because
not a
those
video.
muscles are weak. But what we're going to do is when we bring the belly button inwards, we're working the transverse abdominis muscle. And after 3 seconds, we're going to slowly twist to the left, working the internal and external obliques.
I was gonna say.
Rectus abdominis.
I said he definitely works on the internal, external obliques. So he adds a little bit of twist to it, which brings in those internal, external obliques. Interesting.
And then go to the right.
And you should be squeezing the whole time. Squeeze the whole time.
6 different muscles.
Wasn't a huge, I'm just going to go back because it was
And then go twist to the left.
not a huge range of motion on the twist, and I'm a fan of that. You only have so many twists in your life where you're actually going to be able to twist. You don't want to put too much pressure on the spine. Like this movement, you got the vacuum pose, you're hitting the transverse abdominis. He's adding the twist to hit a little bit of the internal and external obliques. I kind of focused on that, and you can see that down here. And this is what I'm talking about. See this muscle kind of coming down, or this kind of line. I don't know if you can see it, but that corset shape of the transverse abdominis, that's why you start to get that this line going down here. So I was kind of explaining it just a little bit earlier, but you got that corset shape of the transverse abdominis. So you're going to get this little line here, but you need low belly fat, body fat. Let's look at the range of motion on the twist. And it's not weighted.
Working the internal.
Let's see how far he goes to the to his right.
And then go to the right.
Not huge. See how this is still engaged? He's moving his hips just a little bit. Nothing wrong with that, but something I would point out as a trainer.
And you're going to say, "Wow, we've just."
But he's probably
worked
going fast.
6 different muscles by you doing that motion. So push your belly button back as far as you
Back
can.
and up, back and
Push
up.
it back. It hurts after 3 seconds.
Squeeze. Do
Slowly
it yourself
turn
right
to
now.
the left,
Squeeze.
Contracting the other muscles. Keep it contracted. Keeping the belly button inwards and go to the right. That's 1.
Hips twisting a little bit, but that's okay. He's
Bring
just
the
showing
umbilicus
quick.
Belly button back as far as you can.
So letting
1,
in and out.
2,
Absolutely.
3. Hold it. Go to the left. Go to the right. It burns. Relax. Take the umbilicus.
I love that he's showing it.
Back again, pushing it in. Back
Good for
against
him.
the spine, holding it 3 seconds. Hold it, and go to the left, and go to the right, keeping all the muscles contracted and tight.
I think he's.
Take the umbilicus.
I think he might be selling it just a little bit. Yes, you are gonna be straining just a little bit, but it's not the hardest twist. His range of motion is not the biggest. Maybe if it's one of your first times doing it, you're gonna be feeling it just a little bit. I would do it standing up your first time. I think it's a great exercise. I love this exercise because he's not having huge range of motion on his twist. Remember, you don't have to turn all the way. The more you turn, you might get a little bit more engagement, but sometimes, stick in it for the long battle, all right? Don't hurt your spine. Sorry, I'm just skipping on. Don't hurt your spine. Don't overdo it. Like he said, he's doing 3 sets of, I think, 12 reps. You can really engage that transverse abdominis core muscle by not over twisting. He's just bringing his internal and external obliques into it, which I think is great. You want to make sure that you're hitting those as well. All right, let's let him finish off here. Hopefully I'm not pausing too much. Let me know if I am.
1, 2, 3. Twist to the left slowly. Twist back to the right. And you should feel all those other.
Okay. Just let me give my little pointer here, if I may. No disrespect to Dr. Mandel. Love this video. Doing a great job showing. Props to him for actually showing it himself. Love that he's standing while doing it.
3. Twist to the left.
Okay.
Slowly.
Okay. See how the shoulders are turning? Keeping the hips straight. Very nice. That's what you want to be doing. That's how you're going to engage those internal, external obliques as well. If you're turning the hips too much, you lose that, all right? You're not going to be engaging them. So you turn the shoulders, Look at that pose. Very nice. Let's see if he does the same thing on the other side, because he turned his hips just a little bit.
Twist back to the right. And you should feel all those other muscles engage. That's your entire core. So regardless of your age, it doesn't matter.
That's the best part.
The bottom line is, in order to get those abs looking good, it doesn't come from the gym. It comes from the kitchen.
Yes.
Make sure you're eating healthy.
There he goes.
So I challenge every one of you, start doing this technique every day. Cut down those refined carbs.
That's why he's got good content, guys. That's why he has really good content. He just showed you the 2 moves. I think the 2 moves would be that vacuum pose, that squeezing in the belly button, squeeze in and up if you can, just slightly. Really engage that transverse abdominis. And I think the other move would obviously be the internal and external rotation. So he's working his internal, external obliques. But as he just said, does it come from the gym? 10-20%, yes, but of course you're going to want to focus on nutrition, and those were the 2 biggest things that I really wanted to see in this video.
Stress levels down.
Stress
Get
levels
your
down.
Sleep, hydrate, and a little exercise, and you will see quick results. Please share this with your friends and family. Leave your comments below, and most important, make it a great day. I'm
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Alan Mandel.
All right. Very good. I really liked a lot of the things. I'm going to turn the desktop audio back down just in case something plays. I really liked with a lot of things that he said there. Let me go back. All right, I liked a lot of things that he said there. Interesting movement. One that you don't see quite a bit. Now, interesting why he said the video is saying get a flat belly, right? And then him saying the best core muscle, not the rectus abdominis, not your obliques, but the transverse abdominis for a flat belly. If you got belly fat, you're not going to have a flat belly. So you can do those movements for an hour a day. If your diet's not up to par, you're not going to be having a flat belly, unfortunately. And he mentioned that at the end of the video. You got to focus on diet. You got to focus on all of that good stuff as well. And that's how you're going to achieve actually having that flat belly. So I like that. That was interesting. I mean, that's 6 million views right there. I think a lot of thumbs up. I think a lot of people really... maybe I should get into some flat belly content. 2 moves, no sit-ups, or gym. Very interesting. I mean, working that transverse abdominis, very, very important for overall health. Great for core strength. If you have lower back pain, it's going to help with posture. So I really like with what he did there. I really like... I think that's an interesting movement. Some other movements that are going to help the transverse abdominis. Planks to some degree. Everyone knows what planks are. But another good one that I really like, and these are going to be more of an isometric hold. His was an isometric. If he was just holding the vacuum, so if he was just squeezing the belly button in and holding that movement, that would be what's called an isometric movement. But he's adding that twist to bring in the internal and external obliques. So we call that more of a dynamic core exercise. So these are going to be more on the isometric side, which I'm a huge fan of. One is going to be your bird dog, your dead bug. Another dynamic one where it's not going to be isometric is going to be toe taps. You can look into toe taps. So I would look into those 3. That's more than enough. If you're doing a bird dog, so exactly, they got funny names. A dead bug. I'm going to put it in there just so you can search it yourself. And then the last one is toe taps. Toe taps, very tough. You're going to work your, all of them are going to work multiple parts of the core. They're focused more on the transverse abdominis. That toe tap is going to be a little bit more, or definitely more, of a dynamic movement because you're going to be flat on your back. You're going to have your feet brought into you, so bent knees facing up to the sky, and you're going to be going down and tapping your toes, just as the exercise says. So your shoulders are up off the ground, which means you're definitely working your rectus abdominis because you're in a little bit of a sit-up position. All right, and when you're in that sit-up position, all right, you're definitely going to be working that rectus abdominis. A little bit tougher on the lower back. I like the bird dog. I really like the dead bug. If you're finding trouble with a lower back or anything like that, or that dynamic exercise is a little bit too much for you, go to what Dr. Mandel just said. Great tip there. And you can also go to bird dog put bed bug. Dead bug. Dead bug. All right, go for your dead bugs. You can move in and out of a dead bug. I like the 15-second hold on each side. Go back to your table. All right, again, I'd have to show this in real time for maybe to get the full picture, but I think you guys get the idea. All right, so that was Dr. Mandel. Give me just 1 second here, guys. I'm just going to go in real quick. Let's change this. So very interesting video. Let's go back to his videos here. I'm just going to go off screen for a second. Give me 1 second here, guys. I'll be right back, okay? Okay, we are back. So thanks everyone for holding in there. So let me turn my mic up just a little bit. I don't think I have the desktop audio on. Okay, perfect. All right, we're gonna need the headphones so I can hear. So I think this is going well. I mean, it's my first time. I think I've done hundreds of these. It's my first time really being on cam when it comes to the live stream. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. I think I'm a little bit relaxed, trying to relax just a little bit. But, you know, Dr. Mandel, thank you so much for that amazing video. Again, I'll do some reaction content. Again, today is just going to be one of those days where it's the first one on here, just kind of testing everything out, making sure everything looks good, everything sounds good. Over in this area is where we're going to be going over certain studies, certain information that I'm going to be able to react to that we're going to have on live streams. So that's what we're kind of setting up here. So you guys kind of get a little bit of an idea of what we're shooting for here. So like I said, thank you very much to Dr. Mandel, Motivational Doc. You've probably checked them out. I think it goes without saying. Go check him out. I think everyone's checked out his content. He has 8 million subscribers. So congratulations to him. Keep up the great content, Dr. Mandel. Appreciate that video that we just saw. And let's go on to our next one. We're gonna bring up another one that you've probably heard of. I'll just throw it over here. Yeah, never seen this video, but Dr. Berg. I might need to shrink myself just a little bit. Not much. I'll go underneath the chin there. All right, hopefully that's not too small. So we're going to go out and react to Dr. Berg. All right, so this one I thought was interesting. 6 exercises that get rid of your love handles. All right, so 6 exercises that get rid of your love handles. So lose belly fat, again, flatten the stomach. Man, that motivational doctor, that was a popular video. I got to say, that was a very popular video. I think people really enjoy content when it comes to exercises that are simple, that are easy. There really wasn't a ton of science behind that. Again, I think the best part of that was doing the vacuum pose. You can add the twists in if you like, but I think the best part of that was lower the carbs. All right, lower the refined sugars, and focus on the kitchen. Focus on the diet. That's how you're going to get the flat stomach. But try that exercise. It'd be interesting. I'm going to try it tonight and see how my core is feeling tomorrow, because I've never done that exercise. I haven't incorporated vacuums when it came to transverse abdominis. When I used to pose, obviously I would do vacuums, but it wasn't for very long. You're holding a pose for about 8 to 10 seconds. But I've done bird dogs, dead bugs, planks to a degree, didn't throw them up on there, and toe taps. That's more than enough for your transverse abdominis. And you're working multiple ones. But let me know in chat. Let me know how everything's sounding here again. If you're just coming in, appreciate you all. And let's go to Dr. Berg. If the desktop audio is too low, I'll make sure that I bring it up here. I want to pause a little bit, but let's see what he has to say. Now, the unfortunate part is he's not going to be doing the exercises. Dr. Mandel, props to him. He did the exercise. Now, this is 6. He would really have to get down in there and get going with those exercises. But big props to you, Dr. Mandel, actually showing the exercise. Got the shirt up and going over it. So big props to you. I like seeing that. Good job. Okay, let's begin. I think we'll be okay on volume.
Talk about the 6 exercises that can help you.
One thing real quick, I like Dr. Berg's. I don't watch a lot of Dr. Berg, if any. I can't remember the last time I watched a Dr. Berg video. Again, not that it's bad content or anything like that. Again, you can see all these popular videos on the right here. I haven't watched any of them. 12 million views on this one to lose body fat. I haven't watched any of them. I try not to take in the content that I'm going to be creating for. Again, you don't want to get that bias in there. You don't want to be taking in that, at least for me, I don't want to be taking in that information and letting it bias me or come up with an idea that I saw. I don't watch a lot of this type of content. I read it. I put it into practice in everyday use working with clients. So that's why I haven't seen a lot of Dr. Berg or Dr. Mandel, to be honest. Really any of their content. And it's not that it's bad content. It's just haven't seen it just because of that reason. Alvin, thank you so much for commenting. Great to have you in here. Eating until 80% full. Nice. Nearly got rid of my eczema. Wow. Congratulations. I ate intuitively. It might have made me lose weight as well. Just my 2 cents in case anyone has eczema. That's awesome. Congratulations on the eczema benefits there, Alvin. I ate intuitively. Very nice. Eating until 80% full. Nearly got rid of your eczema. Very nice. And did you switch up the diet? Did you eat certain foods? Did you find certain foods worked for you more? Did you find certain foods sort of exacerbated the problem? I would think that you did. Water intake. Things like that, avoiding alcohol, avoiding sugars, things of that nature. So not only were you eating until you're about 80% full, so we're already talking about moderation, eating in moderation, having lower portion sizes, but maybe you were changing up the diet a little bit. So I can imagine that you were very, very happy. I know some clients, I know some family members who deal with eczema. It is not fun. It is not fun. So big props to you. Congratulations, Alvin. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, let's think of 6 exercises that get rid of your love handles. Dr. Berg, everyone knows him probably. Again, I haven't watched too much of his content. if anything, but I'm excited to react to this a little bit. I would give my a couple guesses, but he's going to obviously probably be working on his obliques, but I just want to go into it, not give any guesses or anything like that. I just want to sort of watch it with you guys and see what he says.
Let's talk about the 6 exercises that can help get rid of those love handles. The medical term for love handles is a muffin top, but there's actually nothing to love about love handles.
That's the medical term.
For some reason, people
muffin top is the
don't
medical
like
term.
their love handles and they want to get rid of them. So I'm going to show you about love handles. For some reason, people don't like their love handles and they want
For some reason, they don't like their love handles. I think if you have love handles, you know why you probably don't like them.
to get rid of them. So I'm going to show you how. So what's happening is that you're getting fat accumulation in your liver. It's then filling up and then spilling off.
Forgot to say, he mentioned stress. Dr. Mandel mentioned stress. Amazing point. Great point. There's great studies out there that stress and then cortisol release in the body, most of that or a lot of that is being stored as belly fat. Very interesting studies that are coming out. Great point by him. So see if Dr. Berg makes some of those points related to stress.
Into around your organs and in your organs in your midsection. That's called visceral fat. And on top of that, you're also getting additional subcutaneous fat,
yes,
which is
on
just beneath the surface. So love handles are basically a spill off of fat because there's not too many places left. So your body's just dumping it on the sides of your waist. Now, there's one primary cause and there's 2 secondary causes. The primary cause is basically you're eating
too many
much
calories.
Sugar, refined carbs, glucose, which is then raising insulin, okay?
Could be too many calories. A lot of the times it is going to be, we talk about it all the time, glucose, going to raise insulin levels. It's a hormonal thing. So good point so far.
In the presence of insulin, you can't burn fat, and what you're doing is you're storing fat and you're accumulating fat. So that's cause number 1. But, and
so
what you're doing...
Interesting. So again, yes, you're going to have belly fat increase, but belly fat is going to be distributed throughout the entire body as well. All right, so not just in the belly, maybe a good portion of there, and maybe you'll put it on first, and that's the unfortunate thing with belly fat. Yes, it goes there first. A lot of times it's the last place to take it off. That's been known for a long time, but you're going to get a distribution of body fat with insulin, with calories in, calories out, that thermogenic effect, it just doesn't lose. It's undefeated. So through the legs, hips, a lot of females in the hips, men are, you're going to have it in the belly, you're going to have it in the chest, arms, legs, everywhere. It gets distributed.
Doing is you're storing fat and you're accumulating fat. So that's cause number 1.
Saw hips though.
But if you experience stress,
that good
hormone cortisol will then activate more insulin because there's going to be a release of glucose. During stress, your body runs on glucose. So stress produces glucose. It's called gluconeogenesis because your body is stuck in this stress mode or survival mode, and the quick energy is glucose.
So we talked a little bit about that on our stress talk yesterday. Your body goes into survival mode, that fight or flight. Stress is having to do with an external response. You go into fight or flight mode. Great point, and it ties in, was it yesterday or 2 days ago that we had the science of stress? So very cool. I like his discussion on stress, and before we started talking, I pointed out how Dr. Mandel brought up some good points on stress as well, or a quick point on stress. This video was a little bit quicker, so great points here by Dr. Berg. Love his relaxed sort of presentation here.
So it'll turn fat and protein into glucose. And so stress increases glucose, thereby increasing insulin.
Unfortunately, there's not much I can do about these ads.
Which can activate more cortisol, which
so
then activates more insulin.
Yes.
This is why,
which is going to get stored as belly fat, as you mentioned.
Carbs, you'll be hungry, usually for carbs. So we have a high carb diet.
Where do you get these pictures from
stress,
and videos?
And then we have lack of sleep. And so the solution is to get on a low carb diet, reduce your stress, and improve your sleep. But that's not all. You're going to have to add some exercise to really speed up the process.
Okay, so great points so far. I don't know if you have to get on a keto diet. I know he really, really likes keto. That's the one thing about Dr. Berg. He really likes keto. He really likes intermittent fasting. I think he even does intermittent fasting keto. Do you have to go on keto? I've had clients that have lost 100 pounds. Multiple clients who have lost 100 pounds over a year to about 15 months. Not on keto, all right? Losing a ton of belly fat. So do you have to go on keto? It might help, and it helps just because of the points that he's raising, no pun intended, with the increase in insulin, glucose. Remember, insulin, hormone. I think you're going to want to focus on that sleep and that cortisol, all right? Your stress levels. Bring down the stress levels, increase sleep, and then focus on insulin. Take out the refined carbs. There's nothing wrong with pointing out, that's a great point. Take out the refined carbs, take out the sugars, and then he just brought up a great point here, and that's why I paused it. You're going to want to have movement. You're going to want to have some exercise. As I always say, shoot for that 150 minutes per week. Let's continue with Dr. Berg here.
So these are some intense exercises to focus in on your core,
It's going to be intense.
which connects the lower part of your body to the upper part of your body. Okay, the first exercise we're going to talk about are side planks. Okay, now there's
side plank
several
usually
modifications
transverse
side planks
abdominal.
that can make things more or less challenging. But this is what you're going to do. You're going to start by laying on your side, and you're going to prop yourself up with one arm. Your elbow should be in alignment with your shoulder.
Okay, so he's talking about your elbow in alignment with your shoulder, and you're going to want to bring your chin down so that's kind of in line with your hip. All right, almost looking in between the knees. All right, that's going to be your proper form for a side plank. You're going to stack the feet too. Stack the feet. Unless you're doing a modified plank, this is a tough exercise. I'll be honest. If you're starting out with side planks, do a modified plank. Have your knees down, and you can even have a little bit of your quads down as well. Side planks are a very tough exercise. You saw this one's going to be a little bit better because you do have your forearm down, the hand down. Be really, really careful. If you've never done side planks before, all right, you don't want to risk injury. But good one to start for love handles. Again, he's talking about the internal, external obliques, so.
And your forearm should be flat
Going up and down, not a huge
at
fan
a
of that.
right angle to your body. So you'll stack your legs one on top of the other.
See, stack the
so
legs.
Your body forms a straight line from head to hip.
Head to hip. So there we go.
With your knee still touching the ground, raise your hips. Squeeze your glutes, the butt muscle, and then hold the move for about 30 seconds. Now, while doing this exercise,
It's a long time.
focus on
30
keeping
seconds is
your
a
abs
tough
tight
one. I'd
to
start with
support your
10 to
body.
15.
And then just switch sizes and then repeat. But this is a great exercise to
These
really,
are really advanced
target that core, that midsection.
fitness
And
individuals.
you can add other exercises to this and do this on a regular basis. I would recommend doing it every other day to start out with.
So
All
they're
right, number
crossing,
2.
which makes it even tougher. I wouldn't recommend doing this every other day. You can treat your core like any other muscle, maybe 2 times a week, but you don't have to do it every other day. Just like individuals wouldn't work their chest every other day. You don't have to work the core every other day, especially if you're just focusing on love handle work, like your obliques.
Bicycle crunches.
Okay, bicycle crunches.
Now, it can be tempting to rush through this exercise, but the key is to do it slowly and control your movements.
Okay, there's a good one. See, the reason why I kind of flinched there and kind of made that face there, not really a bicycle crunch. They don't have that twisting. This is going to work your rectus abdominis really, really well. Even the lower rectus abdominis really, really well. You're in that, like I was kind of explaining before, you're in this very, very tough isometric pose where you have the shoulders up, your chin down. A lot of it is being focused on that rectus abdominis, and then you start bringing your knees into it. This is a tough one, guys. You want to talk about burning abs? As Dr. Mandel mentioned, this one's going to be an ab burner.
And control your movement.
This is nice movement
so
right here
muscle
for obliques.
In your love handle area.
And you can see the engagement.
Affected. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to line your back with your hands.
Sorry, I'm trying to get my mouse correct.
And your knees bent. You'll lift up your shoulders. And
very tough exercise, though. Very, very tough exercise.
Abs. At the same time, you're going to lift the feet off the ground, keeping your knees bent.
Like those toes being straight, the legs being straight. So your feet being right in line with your knee. Super tough. Super tough.
Then you're going to slowly twist your body so your left elbow moves towards your right knee. Now, as you twist your body,
so you can see these are really, really high
out in
level.
Now slowly twist
athletes.
The other direction, bringing your left leg back to the bent position. With your right elbow moving towards your left knee. As you twist the body, extend your right leg out in front of you. So you want to do between 15 and 30 repetitions. But do what you can, because this is a very difficult exercise for some people starting out.
Yes.
So just go slowly.
Great point. Good job by Dr. Berg. As I just mentioned, it's a tough exercise for someone starting out. So great point there by Dr. Berg. It's a tough exercise for someone starting out. Same thing with the side plank. And you're just going to realize that. And the reason why I'm making that comment is just from working with hundreds of clients, just from seeing people who are starting out, people in their mid 40s, mid 50s, even early 60s. You're probably not going to have them start out doing a side plank. If you are, it's going to be a modified side plank. A lot of times you're not going to do a bicycle crunch for an oblique. It's a very, very tough very, very tough exercise. The fact that they can get the feet in line with the knees, that's one of the toughest things to do. You're going to see the feet droop. You're going to see the feet hang. They're, sorry, I'm doing it with my hands as if you guys could see it, but their hip flexors are going to be gassed. They're going to be sore. They're going to be really, really on fire with this exercise. Their whole core is going to be on fire. So he brings up a good point there. Two great exercises for the obliques, absolutely, but definitely intermediate to advanced.
Because you're going to be sore the next day.
Yes, you're going to be very sore.
Number 3, Russian twists. This is another
That's a good one, but again, very tough.
Awesome,
very tough. I mean, if you're just starting working out, can you imagine yourself doing this?
Adding weight as you get.
All right, you got to slow this down. Slow this down. Twisting with weight is, I know this guy's really, really high level athlete again, but if you're just starting out, slow that right down, and you're going to get a better burn. Slow it down. Speed is not always your friend, especially when it comes to twists. Not a huge fan of velocity movements when it comes to twists. But again, tough exercise. Picture yourself, if you're just starting out, are you going to have your legs up like this? Are you going to have your feet off the ground? And are you going to have your shoulders off the ground? He's basically in a sit-up position with his knees coming up to his stomach while doing a weighted Russian twist. That's very, very tough. Great exercises, though. The absolute best way to get rid of love handles, would say the absolute best exercises to work on love handles. But if you're in content creation, you're going to use the titles that are going to get the most views. And clearly the last two got views.
But if you're new to this exercise, do not use extra weights.
Nope.
So start in a seated position on the floor with your butt on the ground, your knees bent, and your feet flat on the floor. Tighten your abdomen, lean your torso back so that you're about to do a 45-degree angle to the floor.
It's a tough exercise.
If you're not using a weight, clasp your
You're working the
hands
rectus
together.
abdominis as well in this. You're
hold
in
your
a
hands
sit-up.
just above your abdomen. Still with your knees bent, lift your feet off the ground so that you're balancing on your butt. For additional support, you can actually cross your ankles. Now, twist your torso to the right.
You can see them
Bring
cross
your
their ankles.
hands or your weight to the right side of your body. Now,
What do you guys think of these exercises? Let me know in the comments.
Or your hands to the left side of your body. Repeat this for about 30 seconds.
I like the
1 minute.
So 30 seconds to 1 minute is, again, very, very tough. I like the non-weighted. I like this exercise here that this individual is doing. I like the non-weighted. Sometimes you got to push yourself just a little bit and add some weight in there. A lot of times people will do it with kettlebells, but make sure you're using a weight that you can control. You don't have to fly through the exercise. It's not about how many twists that you can do, let's say in 30 seconds. It's how many good repetitions, all right, controlled repetitions that are actually going to engage the core, engage the love handles, the obliques, internal, external obliques, all right, that are going to make all the difference. But good exercises so far from Dr. Berg.
Now, of
good
course, this is another
explanations
killer
too.
Exercise, so again,
Killer exercise. Yep, go at your own pace.
The next exercise we're going to talk about is the mountain climber. Boy, this one can really.
This is a HIIT exercise. All right, mountain climber. This is a HIIT exercise. What does that mean? HIIT exercise, just high intensity interval training. I'm not sure how this is going to help with the obliques. It's going to help with burning. It's going to help with the love handles because you're going to burn a bunch of calories doing it. That's for sure. And you're going to get engagement in the core by bringing your knees up. But again, these are all very high impact. This is a high impact exercise. You're high impact on the knees, the ankle joints, the hips. Again, these are all intermediate to advanced movements.
Metabolism and strengthen your abdominal muscles in a major way. You can start out going slow, but then you could speed things up as you get stronger. So to get in a plank position, you're going to lie flat on the floor, face down.
So it's going to say the lower you go to the floor, the harder the exercise becomes.
Hands underneath your shoulders, curl your toes so that they're pressing into the floor, and push up. Lift your right foot off the ground and pull your right knee towards your left elbow, keeping your abs tight. Hold the move briefly, and then return.
I like this speed. Maybe they're in slow motion, but I like this speed.
Now repeat it on the other side. So you want to do this about 30 seconds to 1 minute.
This holiday, our Maitre chocolatiers have used our.
Sorry, again, there's not much I can do about the ads. But you don't always have to be rushing. But the girl who had her hands up, not on the ground, obviously it's going to be a little bit easier than being down on the ground here. This is a very popular exercise. During the pandemic, you saw everyone doing mountain climbers.
Every other day. All right, number 5, wood choppers.
Yeah, you don't have to do it every other day.
This is another great exercise to get rid of those love handles.
Wood
Number
choppers.
5, wood choppers.
Yeah, wood
This is
choppers.
another
Just be
great
careful with the
exercise to
back.
get rid of those love handles.
I would do it
With
in a
this one,
lunge
you're gonna
position.
Need, a little ball, a medicine ball, which actually has weight.
So getting a little
stand
squat
with your
in here.
feet shoulder width apart and raise both arms above.
See, I don't like the turning in of this knee. Let's see, this knee
Of your
right.
head.
Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to click there.
So stand with your feet shoulder width apart.
It might be a little sore. You're going to be sore here the next day. Wood choppers are great for love handles, though. These are all exercises that I would have clients do. I would do it from a lunge position, though.
And raise both arms above your head on the left-hand
You
side.
got to keep your arms straight.
Bring your arms down towards the floor on the right-hand side of your body as you perform a squat while you're twisting your midsection and hips. Perform this several times and then repeat the other side. So I would recommend doing it maybe 3 to 4 times and then reverse this to the other side. But with this exercise, you really want to focus on your form and use the weight that you can easily do this with. So maybe you want to start out with a 5-pound ball and then gradually go up to a 7-pound or even a 10-pound ball. But this is an awesome exercise.
It's a nice way
to
of doing
get
it.
your core in
Huge range of motion here. He's going almost down to his foot all the way, fully extended up past his
really
head.
good shape. Now, the last exercise I'm going to talk about involves the Bulgarian bag, and you're going to be swinging this bag over your head.
This
Now,
is
more for advanced exercise.
I was going to say, this is
I'm doing this
advanced.
exercise
You
right
guys,
now, and you talk about
a lot of you guys, a lot of my people that are watching this, I never seen this video, but man, these are high level exercises, guys. It does not get more high level than this. Swinging back and forth. I don't even know how much weight he has. Tough on the spine. Again, you only have so many twists.
intense workout. Boy, you can get your pulse rate up, and you can get some serious improvement with your midsection, not to mention your shoulders. Now, it's a bit more complex, and it's very difficult to explain, so you're going to have to kind of watch this video and go slow and mimic the motion until
Use
you get
lightweight.
the rhythm.
If
But
you're
you're
if you
basically
really want to do
involving a
this,
bag
use
where you're putting either
lightweight when you
rocks
start.
or sand in it at a certain weight that you're comfortable
I'd go
with.
sand.
I think the weight that I'm using
Rocks
right
are
now
going
is
to be
about
moving
20
around.
pounds,
It's going to make it
but I'm telling you,
the
it's
weight
20 pounds is pretty
unstable.
intense. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to grip these two
You don't want
ends of the bag.
that weight
And
moving
so
around
one
in there
thing
as
about
you're
this
moving around
exercise is
as
that
well.
it takes a lot of grip strength to hold this because you're whipping this bag over your head in a certain motion. So you're going to find that your forearms are going to be very strong. But if you don't have good forearm strength, the whole bag could slip out very easily.
Okay, I'm just going to fast forward it there. I think we get the point of the
and these
Bulgarian bag.
powerful exercises. Now you have to make sure that you get on a healthy ketogenic diet, do intermittent fasting.
All right, here's the good stuff. All right, again, make sure you focus on your diet. If you're trying to lose belly fat, or flatten the stomach, flatten the belly, you're gonna have to make sure that you're focused on your diet as well. You know, intermittent fasting, keto, as I mentioned before, I know Dr. Berg is a big fan of these. Again, do you have to go to keto diet or intermittent fasting? You don't have to. It has a lot of benefits for a lot of individuals. I'm sure if we went to the comments of this video, you would see a lot of comments praising this type of diet, praising the information that Dr. Berg is giving. Just because the individuals that are on keto and intermittent fasting, they do see great results. Some of them, if they can stick to them. A lot of times you'll hear of the individuals that see great results, but you won't hear about the individuals that can't stick to this diet or have a hard time sticking to this diet or find it too restrictive. Again, working with clients and things like that, I hear that all the time. But he's speaking the truth here. Make sure that you're focused on diet. Make sure you're focused on what's going on in the kitchen. You can do all the exercises in the world, but you can't outwork a bad diet.
And then you want to do these exercises in the fasting period of time so you can add compounding or enhancement of the results. Now, if you have not seen my videos on how to do keto and intermittent fasting in a very simple way.
Okay. So that is Dr. Berg. Interesting video. Like the video. Congrats to Dr. Berg. High intensity videos there. Very, very tough exercises that he's doing with those videos. So that was our reaction to some of the information that's out there with losing body fat, or at least belly fat, losing love handles, losing belly fat that we saw from Dr. Mandel. Again, the most important thing, it's not going to be 1 or 2 or 6 exercises that are going to get you a flat stomach. It's going to be a lot of the time, being consistent with a workout or movement schedule and being consistent in the kitchen. That's the best way to do it if you want to make sure that you're flattening your stomach, okay? You know, Dr. Mandel brought up an interesting exercise, working the transverse abdominis, squeezing in, so you're getting that vacuum pose. Again, a lot of benefits that come from that. Is it going to flatten the stomach in and of itself? Of course not. He even mentioned that in his video. Same thing with Dr. Berg. Just doing these exercises alone, side plank, bicycle crunches, Russian twist, mountain climbers, not really sure how you're going to lose love handles from that other than the fact that you're burning calories. Are those exercises alone going to be giving you a flat stomach? Absolutely not. Again, it's all in combination together. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. We're going to have a lot more content that, now has the live stream up. I hope you guys like the studio. I hope everything's looking good. I got lighting in front of me. So hopefully that's looking okay as well. I'm trying to look as much into the camera when I'm addressing you guys. Got to get used to that just a little bit. So hopefully that you guys are enjoying the live streams with the camera on here. I think it's going to, again, the thing is, we're streaming on a Monday morning. It's going to take time to get people in here. It's going to take time for people to find the streams again, to find, how often we're going here to, resubscribe or hit the bell, whatever it is that gets them back in, getting those notifications, get me back in the algorithm. That's why it's so nice. And thank you so much for the 14 likes on the video. A lot of you guys in here. Not a ton of comments, but that's okay. All right. A big shout out to Morgan. Big shout out to Mary. Big shout out to other Mary. Big shout out to JJ. Big shout out to Alvin. Thank you so much for sharing that information, Alvin. Thank you, Mary, for helping me set up. Thank you, everyone who commented on the video and on the audio, setting this up for my first time. Again, we'll go through, as you saw me sort of go from this scene here, all right, where my full face is on it. Yes, I'll pull back to this scene, but a lot of the times when I'm giving information, you'll see me sort of addressing things on this side here, and then me, might be a little bit bigger here, maybe me here, sorry, kind of addressing information that's on this side, and me being able to talk to you, address you, maybe even being a little bit better with my camera on, which is always nice, and then talking about the information as it comes in. One big goal, I kind of like with the live streams answering questions as well, so I think we still stick to the Wednesday. We still stick to the Saturday. I know when that's the most people that can get in. Tough on a Monday morning, but the nice thing is people will be able to watch this later. Already a lot of you have come in. I can already see through the views, so that's nice. Seeing everyone get in here. JJ, thanks so much. All good, Coach. Thank you for continuing to increase the content. Well, my pleasure, JJ. I appreciate you saying that. And content is, like you said, going to continue to increase, so I appreciate that. If there's some videos that you guys want me to talk about, I know Mary had mentioned fermented foods. Mary, be on the lookout for that video specifically. We'll go through some of the research. We'll go through some of the information that's out there on fermented foods, why I like them so much, why we should incorporate them into our diet, the pros, and maybe even some of the cons even when it comes to fermented foods. Supplementation, things of that nature. There's a lot of things out there. You got your bone broth. You got your vitamin K2 supplements. There's a lot of paths that we can go down when it comes to fermented foods. The other thing that I want is probably going to be our next stream on Wednesday, so I'll make sure that notification goes up. We are going to be talking about omega-3s. And you're going to want to make sure that you see that live stream because there's a lot of research that's gone into that. It's something that I've really been focusing on. Why? Because our ratio between omega-3s and omega-6s is just off the charts right now. We're getting way more omega-6s, way more omega-9s than we are omega-3s. And there's those healthy benefits from omega-3s that we want to make sure that we're getting. And also, the cons of not getting enough omega-3s and having that bad ratio between omega-3s and omega-6s. All right, increased inflammation being one of them. But be on the lookout for that stream so you can see more of those. I want to thank everyone that came in here. I'm glad that the first one with my face on stream worked well, seemed to go good. It seemed like all the audio issues were good. I know the microphone's in sort of an odd space, sort of blocking me a little bit. We'll change that. We'll get everything figured out as we always do here. But the webcam worked nicely. The light in front of me worked nicely. Being able to switch back and forth between the different scenes went very, very well. So I'm happy with that. And I got to say, I'm happy with the amount of people that showed up in the stream today and the comments. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Look out for that omega-3 stream that's going to be happening on Wednesday. We'll figure out the time as we start to approach that. Maybe I'll think about that later today and get the notification up for you guys. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed those reactions. First time I ever reacted to videos. Let me change back here so that I'm talking to you guys from here. You got to remember to do that. Something that I'll pick up as we start to go on here. So as we start to get back in here, as we start to get into our normal routine, we'll add more and more streams. But again, make sure, if you can, check out live that omega-3 stream. The reason why I say live if you can is because you can ask questions. I can answer in real time. You can always watch it later on if you want, but I always say this is my time to sort of interact with you guys, answer your questions. Like Alvin putting that comment in. Thank you, Alvin. I appreciate it. And I'm excited to have that one, especially with my face live on the live stream, and then being able to show the studies and reference things. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate having you in here. This is Coach Nate signing off. I'll get the notification up for the omega-3 video. Appreciate you as always, and I will see you next time on Wednesday, and we'll talk about